Hello and welcome back to the RAG podcast. It is January 2021. It is season 4 of the RAG podcast, and I'm live on LinkedIn as well. I'm delighted to be bringing the show back. I've had a few weeks off now, so I recorded the final episode of season 3 with Pete Watson and Stella Petriconcha in the last week of December before we finished for silly season, and it feels like a lifetime ago. Lots has happened. So today I wanted to bring you a relatively short solo episode where really I want to chat about a few things. I've got a few topics, got a few things on my mind. I'm live on LinkedIn. If there's anyone watching live through LinkedIn, say hello, and happy to field any questions you may have. Now, being the middle of January, what date is it today? We're on Wednesday, the 13th of January, 2021, and we're in a very strange place in the UK. So I'm sat in my apartment in Manchester right now. My dog isn't here. He's gone off to his dog walker, which technically I'm not sure if that's even allowed right now, but socially distanced in the way that they picked him up. But I've got a day to myself, which is amazing. And we're super busy, but we're all in this ridiculously tight lockdown that got announced on the 4th of January, when the first day back. I don't know about you, but I came back on the 4th, kind of expecting it, but almost forgotten about the rumors around lockdown as well, and just kind of started the day with this positive mindset that we were going to we're going to smash it out. Spoke to a lot of clients, had so many internal calls, and the vibe was buzzing. I remember just feeling it was such a good day being back. And then we got the announcement that Scotland had gone into a national lockdown, and that we had a news conference at 8 p.m. And I watched that at home, and I thought, fucking not again, not again. I mean, we've been in restrictions in Manchester anyway for the whole of the year pretty much, but this was going back towards earlier lockdowns with the childcare issue with schools closing, and that was the first thought. Simon Parsons, happy New Year to you, mate. It's always a pleasure to have you on LinkedIn Live listening. And I'll be honest, I went to bed that night on the 4th of January, a little bit, I had a Zoom call with one of my family members, and they were like, "You're a bit miserable." And I said, yeah, I don't know what this is going to mean. I don't know what it's going to mean. So I basically just went to bed in a bit of a grump, to say the least. And I woke up and I was like, no. A bit like last year. We've been through this. We've been here before. Let's see how people do respond. Because I remember fearing a lot for the December lockdown and November, what happened in November, December. And I don't remember it just wasn't that bad in the UK. People just got on with it. So I'm proud to say that over the last week or so of working through with recruitment businesses all over the world, but specifically those that are based here in the UK, across the board, it's felt like there's not been much impact. Now, I'm not saying you haven't had an impact. I'm not saying it's not affected your life or your business. I'm saying from my experience, the people that I've dealt with haven't been moaning. They've been super proactive. They've been really positive, and they're telling me, I mean, the results are looking good. Like, we're getting jobs called in. There's placements being made. There's interviews on the board. So it's definitely not Armageddon that potentially people thought about. I know I feared the worst again. And I think, look, we've been through such a turbulent year in 2020 that it's natural to fear the worst now. But the signs are positive. Leisha Holmes has just jumped on as well and saying it's never been busier. Clients wanting to hire, thank God. So from rec to recs to marketing agencies, the people that are talking to the recruitment industry far and wide, we're seeing a really positive outlook on what's going on. Now, I've been thinking about what we can do. I've actually, interestingly, as much as I want to help recruitment companies, I also want to help more people. I've got this kind of desire to do more. And I've been thinking about how. And then 2 of my clients phoned me back to back this week. One called me last night, one called me this morning, and both had the exact same idea. And I'm not going to go into the idea yet, but it's to do with helping out children in schools. And so I'm on a mission to to unite in the recruitment industry to do something really good, to support school children, disadvantaged school children. So watch this space, but I'm on a mission to do something different in the next few months. If you're interested, by all means, drop me a note offline. I will be announcing this in the next week or so, what we're doing. But it's about bringing recruiters together to do something good for people that need it. And you know, I hope. I just want to say a quick message. Like, I really do hope you're okay. Wherever you are listening to this show, I hope that your business is surviving. I hope your family is safe. I hope your partners are safe. I hope your business colleagues are safe. And I hope that you're able. Simon Parsons has written, 9 months last year, 3 more months will fly by. And I think, that's the attitude we've got to have. We've absolutely got to have an attitude that we're over the worst of this, I think. I mean, and maybe not according to the news in terms of what's going on, but in terms of longevity, with the vaccine on the rollout right now as we speak, I think we're definitely over the worst. So, yeah, I guess 2021 started a little bit more turbulent than we'd hoped. We all wanted to throw 2020 in a bin and just crack on with positivity, but I think it will. I think we can guarantee that it's going to be a better year for sure. So what's been going on? Other things that I've seen this week in the last couple of weeks across the market is the announcement, the launch and the noise level around Clubhouse, the app. So for those of you that don't know, Clubhouse is a new iOS-only app, social platform, which has been announced and launched so if I just show you there, you can see this little icon, Clubhouse. And it's an invite-only social app where people can basically host rooms and they can effectively listen to each other talking through different topics. So I could create a room now on marketing for recruitment, and anyone on Clubhouse can join that room. And it is literally like a live podcast, live webinar. It's like listening to two people on the phone. And you can join any room at any time. And there's people moderating that room, and then there's people allowing you to speak. And at the moment, if I'm honest, it feels a little bit like people just shouting as loud as they can to be heard on this platform, and people scrambling to launch as many rooms as they can and build an audience, which I don't blame them. So I'm going to be investing some time into it. If you're on there, follow me on there. I'll be following you back. If you're not on there, then try and find someone who is and get them to invite you, because it's an invite-only app at the moment. Apparently, there's like a couple of months waiting list. But it's incredible how by making something invite-only, by making it feel exclusive, so many people have jumped on the bandwagon. But there's like billionaires, A-list celebrities, all sorts of people just joining rooms and having conversations, which is just insane, right? So it's interesting. It's very interesting. But yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. I'm starting to. I've not launched a room yet, but I've been listening to other people's chats. So Clubhouse is here. It's an interesting application, and if you haven't got it, find out if you can. I will be feeding back my experience of it in the next couple of weeks and letting you know my thoughts on whether it's going to make an impact on what you're doing. So other news: January marks 2 years since we started this show. 2 years since we launched the RAG podcast. So recorded in December 2018. We went live with our first episode in January 2019 with Sam Green, the founder of Know It, which is now called Few and Far, recruitment business headquartered in London. And since then, we've recorded well over 150 episodes. So we had the season 1, season 2, season 3, plus the lockdown season where we went live daily in March, April last year. I can't believe it. I can't actually believe it. Like, we've had some amazing guests, from David Higgins, who founded Harvey Nash, to James Parsons at Arrows Group, to Chris Abbas from Talentful, Tony Kokoza, who sold DP Connect. We've had people tell stories of incredible events in their lives. So Leisha, who's listening right now, telling us about how her husband came out as being gay after, I think it was 15 years of marriage. We had people talk about losing. One lady lost her father and her brother, both to motorcycle accidents, and started a recruitment company off the back of it. We've had people talk about how they've had divorce, how they've been kicked out of their company by business partners, how they've lost ridiculous amounts of money, how they've sold for 20+ million. We've had ridiculous amounts of conversation. And to me, it's just been the most fun journey I could have ever wished for. Like, I've never enjoyed any part of my job in any job I've ever had as much as I have recording this show. It's been that much fun. And I want to say thank you to every single person who's been a guest and every single person who's listened to one episode. You know, we've been averaging about 16,000 monthly listeners in the last 3 months. So we know that, you know, people are listening all over the world, and a big audience in Australia, big audience in Europe, UK, and then people in the US, South Africa. I mean, literally, there's about 126 countries that are consistently listening. So I want to say thanks to every one of you. You're making this show possible. I want to say thanks to the sponsors. So we've got Odro, who joined us in the summer last year, the world's leading video interview platform. These guys are doing unbelievable things. They're non-stop on LinkedIn. Their platform's incredible, from video interview, which has become pretty normal, to content creation through Producer. They've now integrated with Bullhorn and with Vincere, and they've integrated with Zoom, so you can take a Zoom call off a client and put it straight into your Odro app. I mean, it's just, these guys they're innovating at a pace nobody else in our sector is. So if you're working with Odro, congrats, you're in the right place. If you're not, you should be. And I can't wait to see what they produce this year. And also Vincere, who they recently, you know, teamed up with, they backed us as well. And the amount of people talking about onboarding their recruitment business onto Vincere is insane. I've not heard anything like it from any other CRM in the market. So they're doing something right. All cloud-based, built for the modern recruiter, which is what this show's all about. So I'm going to be getting Bernie from the founder of Vincere on the show soon, and I can't wait to bring more. So the plan for the show this year is all about innovation. You know, it's all about the future. I think the first year and a half of the podcast, until lockdown, the podcast was all about telling stories of growth from people's previous experience. And then we went into, the stories of what the hell people were doing with COVID. And then we talked about the human side of running a recruitment business. And I'm not going to drop any of that. So the new season 4, which, we're kicking it off today, is going to be an amalgamation of everything. There will be some stories of growth in the past, but everything's going to be anchored towards the future. I want this to become the place in 2021 where anyone who wants to launch and run a successful, modern, innovative recruitment brand, they have to listen to this show, because we're going to be bringing to you each week different ideas, different takes on it. So people that are, what the latest technology, the people that are running ridiculously successful marketing campaigns, people with the biggest brands, biggest personal brands, biggest company brands. I want to be talking about, topics to do with being a recruitment owner and how do you, invest your wealth better? How do you manage your family and all the things outside of work, as well as run a modern recruitment company in a remote world when you're living at home, and all the things that goes with it. So it's about how do we KPI our teams and manage top billers when they don't sit in the office anymore? What are the different elements and facets that the best in the industry have implemented and continue to implement to make their business successful? And that's what this show is going to be all about. So, what I want you guys to do is to help me out. So I've asked, Q&A, whether you're online today or whether you want to, I'd like you to drop me a message on LinkedIn if you've got any ideas. And I've already had about 5 messages in the last couple of hours from people saying that the topics they would like me to cover. So if there's something that you would like me to find out about this year on the rag, then please, please, please drop me a note on LinkedIn. Just send me a direct message. It's the best place to do it. I read every message I get. I will respond to you, and I will do my best to find someone, if it's not yourself, who can come onto the show and talk about it and can bring some insights into an area that you're interested in. So, you know, I'm welcome to any topics you can think of. Obviously, the news and what goes on in the world will be another consistent facet. Whenever something changes in with what's going on with COVID, then we'll discuss it and see how that affects you. But there's going to be some tried and tested traditional things you want to think about, like, you know, how do I exit my business? How do I do this? How do I do that? I want to tick all of those things off this year. And finally, I mean, to wrap it up, I want to talk to you about what we've got planned with the Hoxo Academy. So in terms of working, the Academy was born. I mean, it's been something I've planned for a couple of years. It was something that I was talking about in 2018. I put a post up on LinkedIn about who would want to join a personal brand academy, and I had loads of people engaged, but I didn't have the time and the bandwidth and the team to do it, if I'm brutally honest. But this came about in the first lockdown, and you know, Simon wrote, Hoxo helped me survive the pandemic. And I'm really proud of that, because that was the point of this. It was all about helping recruitment owners back in May to learn how to build a personal brand on LinkedIn that would genuinely help them get through the pandemic. So it would help them raise awareness of their organizations, connect with their customers, give them the confidence to build content and know how to use the platform correctly to win business. We saw 165 recruitment owners join and go through the program in 2020. And that was from predominantly the UK and Australia, but we saw people in Asia, the US, Middle East, Africa as well. Feedback's been pretty amazing. We've had some really constructive feedback. We've made a lot of changes. But on the whole, it's been really positive. And what we did find was those that took it seriously, that actually followed my guidance, because it's all based on my own stuff, right? When I launched Hoxo in 2017, I knew I had to live and breathe this stuff. I genuinely believed back then that LinkedIn would change. I believed that, having watched Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and even Snapchat at the time was something I was playing about with. I felt that why wouldn't the way that people were building audiences on social platforms, why wouldn't that come into our sector? And why wouldn't LinkedIn be more of a social platform than just somewhere where people shared articles and job posts? I thought it would become an entertainment platform. I felt like there'd be more video in there. There might be some and just fun stuff to watch. And now, 4 years later, I believe that LinkedIn's done that. I believe LinkedIn is definitely a place of entertainment. It's there for your value. And there's just so much more to the platform now than there was. So, you know, we've seen the people that have engaged, the people that have followed the process, the people that have actually done the work. I've seen the results. One guy made £100,000 in the first 6 months from the day he started the show, the podcast, sorry, the academy in May. £100,000 in fees, all from leads from LinkedIn that people he didn't know or hadn't worked with in a long time, which is just insane. One guy got 1 million views on a LinkedIn post. I've never even had 1 million views on a LinkedIn post, and I'm the one teaching him. So, you know, some people have taken the advice and took it to another level. Across the board, though, we've seen almost everyone's confidence has grown. They've had more interest on LinkedIn. They've seen an increase in profile views, in engagement, in leads, in conversations. They're understanding how they can do it. They're understanding how they can use the platform daily to their advantage. And it's been brilliant to see. We've had a question come through. Given the explosion of personal branding experts and the amount of content on LinkedIn, do you think you need to innovate again to be ahead of everyone else? Are you talking to me personally, Simon, or in terms of yourselves? I personally do. Yeah, I think we all do. I think there is an explosion of personal branding experts on LinkedIn. Of course there is. But again, you don't need to compare yourself to these people as well. Like, you know, you need to compare yourself to where you were last year. You compare yourself to where you are now. Everyone's, you know, there's people out there doing 10 times more revenue than you. Do you compare yourself with them? Compare yourself with where you were last year and how much you want to grow by. For the academy is designed for the people who know that LinkedIn is an opportunity, but are traditional in their approach, and they've used the phone to realistically win all their business. You know, most people have have literally, you know, they get stage fright. They've got fear of producing content. They know they need to do it, but they were never educated on this stuff. They never had a coach or a training partner that mentioned content. I don't think anyone would say, if they had been in recruitment longer than 5 years, that previous to that, they'd ever heard the words personal brand ever linked to the job. And now it's become the basics. And in terms of the information that we coach, it's the foundational stuff that gets you from not knowing what to do on the platform to being super confident on where you need to be on the platform. So it's designed for those recruiters or the recruitment businesses that really need to get their head around it. Now, one thing we did learn from the first wave was that recruitment owners themselves were then trying to put it into practice by rolling the training out to their teams. And also, you know, the teams needed the support, especially when they came back from furlough. So in 2021, we've evolved. Yes, we've updated the content from Simon's question. You know, there's things that have changed since last year, and we'll continually update the content because that's important. But also, we now need to focus on working with the whole business rather than just the leader. So in 2021, the Academy is designed to help you as a recruitment owner roll out a training program to your whole business. So we've condensed the program into 8 weeks of training, and that's with me personally. So your teams will be on live calls every week with me and supported by my team. And we'll go through a logical format of teaching them the basics of everything from planning their audience to understanding how to structure their LinkedIn profile and content, all the way to, you know, planning video content, the rest of it. And all of it's pre-recorded. It's all in a content portal. There's an offline academy community as well, where they can get advice and training and lifetime support from me in the business. But you can rest assured by joining the program that your whole team is covered. We'll coach everyone. And this is only for recruitment businesses. We've had a lot of people try and join the program outside, and we're not allowing that. We're keeping it very, very specific. And I wanted to let anyone listening know, especially for the RAG listeners, that the first 50 customers we work with in 2021 will get unlimited users on the platform. So if you had, say, 15 or 20 recruiters today, all of you can go into the 8-week training program. But if you then have 15 more people you hire this year, you will also get those people to be rolled on, because we'll start an intake every month. So anytime you hire someone, you will train them, and that won't be at an extra cost. After the 50 users, we're going to revise how we do it on a more of a price per user model. So, you know, I want people who genuinely want to go from being that traditional recruiter to being a digital post-COVID recruiter that understands that building brand and content and, you know, navigating your way through LinkedIn daily is how you're going to get ahead of your competition. Because the gap between the people that don't use LinkedIn regularly to the people that do is getting bigger. Yes, there's more people joining the platform, but those that have invested last year, you're getting more confident, more experienced, and the gap between you and those that are just watching is getting bigger. So there's never been a better time, and especially with lockdown, you know, it's a perfect time to train, to reskill, to you know, bring the industry together, to then be armed for a new fight when we're back out in the open market. So the Academy is I'm delighted to announce that, and then also excited by the growth of the team. So we're going to be announcing over the next week or two some amazing partnerships. So Leisha Holmes, who hosts the Recruiter podcast, will now be sponsored by Hoxo Media, which we're super excited about. We've got we've now partnered with Joel in the USA. So we've brought Joel into Hoxo, who's going to be launching our US operation. And he'll be on the show next week to talk all about his experience. Joel went from a year ago never investing in LinkedIn with like less than 10,000 followers, and now he's got over 31,000. He gets tens of thousands of views a day. And this guy, you know, he knows his stuff on LinkedIn. He's just a normal guy who's absolutely smashing it. But he's come in to head up our US operation. We've got Pete Watson in Australia, who has done a phenomenal job for us last year, and he's going to be flying the flag again. So we are truly looking at a global community now for this, and we're going to keep updating and bringing new ideas to the table as well. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. You know, sat on my own in my flat, feeling pumped without anyone to share it with. So I'm virtually high-fiving everyone who's listening to this, wherever you are. I hope you're excited about your year. I hope you're excited about what's coming. You know, we will get through this. But together, if we share ideas, if we lean on each other as an industry, if we laugh together, cry together, learn together, we are going to be a better industry off the back of it. You know, the people I work with, the people that are watching today, that are commenting on this and everything that we're doing, great individuals that genuinely want to position the recruitment industry in a positive light. They're not. We want to get rid of the old stigma that, you know, it's just a lot of sharky salespeople that don't give a shit. That is not what this industry is about anymore. And you know, I'm absolutely delighted to be partnered and working with so many people who share that view. So every Wednesday we'll be live on LinkedIn at 1:30 in the afternoon, and then the show will go live on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube on a Thursday. So a slight adjustment to the schedule. And that's going to be running throughout 2021, one episode a week with different guests, from recruitment owners to people running crazy tech companies that are helping the recruitment industry, to some innovative entrepreneurs outside of the industry that are just doing some amazing things we can all learn from. I'm going to be bringing to you as much value as possible in 2021. If you've got any questions, let me know now. If you want to add anything to the show, if you want to add any ideas, if you want to be a guest on the show this year, please reach out. Feel free to reach out to me. If you want to nominate your boss or someone you know as well to be on the show, if you think someone's doing something particularly interesting, then drop me a DM. LinkedIn direct message is the best way to get hold of me and my team to make it happen. Okay, so let's focus on this year being the best we've ever had. All right. If you really want to be a truly modern, ambitious recruitment business owner in 2021, then, you know, I'm right here trying to help. If you want to stick to the old school and just do what you've always done, then yeah, this ain't the show. Then go and listen to something else. There'll be something else out there for you. Please stay safe, look after yourselves, and I'll see you again next Wednesday, 1:30 on LinkedIn Live. Take care. See you soon.